Hey, this year I got to be on a team of communicators that chose the passage that we would kick 2023 off with. And we went back and forth, and I started by giving them a couple possibilities. I said, hey, we're going to be preaching in Proverbs, so let's either choose Psalms, where we can talk about the goodness of God, or let's talk about Ecclesiastes, where we talk about the futility of man's life. No shocker, everyone chose Psalms. I was a little disappointed because I thought that'd be a great New Year's Eve note and kind of anti-New Year's message to start on. But alas, we went with Psalms. And as I was studying the passage that we chose, something clicked for me that I had never realized before. It's from Psalms 27, starting in verse 14. It says this: I remain confident of this. I will see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Wait for the Lord, be strong and take heart, and wait for the Lord. I remain confident of this. I will see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. And I was thinking about that passage and chatting about it with my husband, Shane. And I said, that's a great verse. Tell me what you think it means, the land of the living. And his eyes kind of popped and had this look like, I think that's obvious. And I was like, explain it to me. He said, I think what it means is we're going to see God's goodness on this side of heaven. And I thought, oh my goodness, that is so true and so profound. But for some reason, I had never seen it that way. I'd never received it that way. And it was such a standout moment for me because sometimes when I'm going through hard times, I think about God's goodness as something that I'm going to experience one day. I have a future hope. I have the promise of all of the brokenness of the world being undone one day by what Jesus started here on earth. But I know that I live in the not yet part of that story. But what Shane was pointing out to me that the psalmist says here is that we have confidence and hope, not just that we will see God's goodness one day, but that we can experience God's goodness today in the land of the living. So as you are starting out this year, I just want to encourage you. Let your heart be dedicated to finding God's goodness in the land of the living. Don't just set your eyes on the future hope that you will one day receive. Rather, set your heart, set your mind on what is to be experienced of God's goodness. All of the gifts that we wake up and just receive. Maybe we take them for granted, and that's why we don't receive them as interpretations and revelations of God's goodness. But set your heart and mind to receive the goodness of God today in the land of the living. As you kick off 2023, I hope that encourages your heart.